Hey guys, this is Evan Krokaidu coming to you with a Dutch angle here. So, do you guys have this image that Japan is a really clean place? No matter what I achieve in my life, no matter how far I go, no matter how many people I see, no matter the lengths of what I could possibly achieve in my lifetime, in my limited lifespan, I will know at the end of my life, in my final moments, when I take my final breath, I'll know that I wore the bathroom slippies in Japan. It's true. If you go to an izakaya, a Japanese style pub in Japan, a lot of places in Japan will have you take your shoes off when you enter the restaurant, which I get that, right? And they'll have little lockers for you to place your shoes in, and some of the locks they give you are crazy. Like they're like these like ancient Japanese puzzle box kind of like really crazy stuff. But one thing I can never get over, and there's just kind of like there's certain things that exist in Japan that I just can't ever completely agree with as far as it being like the standard for hygiene here, the standard for like what it means to do things properly, let's say in the Japanese kind of mentality. And one of the biggest things I can understand is this like these communal bathroom slippers that people wear in bars in Japan. I don't know about you guys, and maybe it's just like a subconscious thing with like the way we're raised in America, or I don't know, but the idea of wearing slippers that people you don't know have worn before in like a public setting, especially a bar where people might be like pissing or puking on those slippers. And the fact that they're made of rubber, it just like the whole thing just like feels wrong to me. And it's one of those things where I kind of laugh because, people in Japan constantly talk about this idea of seiketsukan. Seiketsukan just means like a sense of hygiene. So, like, go watch any video, type in, like, if you guys are curious about this, you could type in, like, uh, dude, like, what do Japanese people think of beards? Like, in some interview video of like Japanese girls talking about what they think of beards, they'll always say like they prefer a clean shaven face because of seiketsukan. You'll hear seiketsukan like literally 50 times in the video. Go try it. Um, but they have this like these really strict ideas of like what it means to have like this sense of seiketsukan. But then there are just certain moments like that I just can't understand. Another one is like in Japan, I think this is a traditional thing, but in traditional Japanese medicine, people think that in order to avoid getting sick, it's important for you to gargle water and spit it out when you like enter a new place. So I remember this was really strange for me. This doesn't have like this depends on like the setting. It's very dependent on the setting. But if you're very comfortable with the people you're with and you're like staying at somebody's like house, for example, people in like unison will go and gargle water and spit up gargled water, like depending on how traditional the family is. That to me is just like I don't know, just the entire like I think we're very sound sensitive in the West. I don't know because I don't personally really like when I'm eating ramen or udon and the person next to me is like some some salary man doing the like this like crazy bodily sounds and stuff, and it's just like I understand the culture. I respect that. I understand that it's both a way of showing appreciation for the food and it's a way for you to functionally eat the noodles faster. Like they say that you're like blowing air over the top of the noodles and that makes it easier to eat when it's really hot because ramen and udon are typically in Japan, they're things that you're supposed to eat very quickly. They're like Japanese fast food, right? And so that's part of the reason why people make that slurping sound with noodles, but I don't like it. Even after 10 years, I can't get myself to do it. Like, I can do it, but I can't. Like, I just feel guilty. It's just the way I was raised, I guess, that it's just like, don't do that. And it's funny because I can remember being a kid and doing that with spaghetti or something, and my mom telling me not to do that. But now it's like, I can't get myself to do it, even though I'm supposed to. And I wouldn't say that's like a hygiene thing, but that is like the sense of sound coming back. And I feel that same way with the gargling thing is like, Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like just meet some people and I'm staying at my friend's place and I'm meeting some mutual friends and all of a sudden I'm hearing like, like it's just a little weird, right? I don't know. There's certain things that I just think it's interesting the cultural difference there and how especially these kind of like things tied to hygiene or sound or like the way we eat, it's like so difficult to break those habits because even it's like new things are completely like immediately all the I was gonna say hashi etiquette, all the chopstick etiquette, everything like that, like yeah, I can pick that up like absolutely no problem because it doesn't clash with anything I know. But the idea of me well, obviously I'm going to wear the bathroom slippers because I have to. I mean, there's no other option there. But it's the idea of me going to somebody like somebody's house who I just met, I just meet their family or whatever, and then I'm supposed to like gargle up water and spit it into their sink. Like that, I just like can't do that. I can't eat dinner that somebody made for me and just sit there. Like it's like not only do I feel like it's like kind of rude, but I also just feel like it's a little bit too like this is a Japanese like this is something that actually Ruth Benedict talked about, who's like a traditional American anthropologist who wrote this famous book called Chrysanthemum and the Sword, which is kind of a controversial book because it's a book written during World War II from an anthropologist or sociologist who had never been to Japan before, and she's basically studying Japanese culture through all these different texts and then writing her own take on things. But I do agree with that specific passage in her book where she says that like basically Japanese people, whatever they're doing, it's like they do it much more like to an extreme level. As far as like if they're going to be working, they're going to be working a ton. If they're going to be taking time off, they're going to be taking a ton of time off, or not a ton of time off, but they're going to be like planning all these things within their vacation. Or if they're eating, they're going to eat really fast. And it's just this like modal shift that happens in Japan. And I also, yeah, it's like the same thing with like the gargling thing. That's it. It's like you go in, you do your gargling, you shift into this. Then you're supposed to be very reserved after you just spat up water. And it's like, it's some of those things like I can do them. I've lived here for 10 years. I've been through so many different like, these kind of like mini tests or, going through university or working here, and I've been in so many situations where I have to make a good impression on somebody. So I will do things depending on whether it's expected of me or whether I just feel like, yeah, I'm gonna just be respectful in this situation. Or and a lot of things. I like a lot of things about Japanese culture too. Don't get me wrong, guys. This is a video about things I feel weird about. But in those specific cases, and I could come up with more examples. It's just like, yeah, it is funny how you have a hard time just there is this kind of thing that's just it's holding you back from being able to fully just make that transition, even though you know it's what's expected of you in the moment. So yeah, I hope you guys found that video interesting. If you're interested in more videos about Japanese culture, kind of like my weird, I don't know, my cognitive experiences I've had living in Japan over the last 10 years, I really appreciate you subscribing to the channel or liking the video and all the other YouTube things I'm supposed to say. And yeah, either way, I hope you guys have a great day or night and consider checking out one of these videos. Okay, thanks guys. Have a great day or night. Blah.